So, Palworld, a video game which had $10,000 invested into it by a group of people that didn't have much experience in making video games, is now a global phenomenon. Huge success. Millions of players are into it. And this is much to the dismay and the outrage of people that work at AAA companies, people that color their hair for a living. And they are seething. They are absolutely furious. First of all, because the developers of Palworld are based and are making fun of them. And secondly, it's the fact that they cannot believe, like, they're doing everything that the academia and the corporations told them to do, and their projects end up flopping and failing despite having millions of dollars in backing. And on the other hand, you have, like, these upstarters that are using $10,000. It's like, okay, well, let's make a game that we would like to play, and hopefully other people will as well. And it's a huge commercial success, right? It's like the crazy idea was just listening to your customers and making a product that the customer actually wants, and not BlackRock, you know? So, what are they saying? Well, here you have this concept that my gut is telling me that Palworld was made nefariously. So basically, they're looking at various angles to try to justify how AI was involved in the production of Palworld, right? I mean, because it doesn't have any anime titties, they can't really have any of that angle. They can't go for the sexismus, they can't go for the misogynismus, the transmophobismus and racismus are out of reach. So they're running out of cards. You know, they're trying to play the Joker, but it's not there. So they're trying to go for the AI angle. Now, the reason they're going for the AI angle, as I explained in the previous video, is due to the fact that the developers of Palworld seem to like AI. Right? Like, they had a couple of posts where they said, oh, I like this technology, I like where it's going, it's interesting. But there is absolutely no evidence that they have used AI in any shape or form into their video game. And in fact, if they were to use AI in their video game, they may actually get banned from Steam for not disclosing it. So this is why they're being attacked for AI. The thing is, like, now that some people are trying to reach and say, okay, well, you haven't used AI in the game, but what if you got inspired by it? So basically, like, what if you got the AI to create a Pokemon critter for you, and you looked at that critter, you didn't use the art, but like, it helped you imagine. And I'm like, oh, come the fuck on. You know, like, even if that was the case, how is it any different than, like, playing a different video game and getting some inspiration from that? Like, for instance, if you watch Superman and you like the concept that there is a guy that's flying around, and you're like, okay, well, let's create Goku. And Goku, you know, has some of Superman's powers. Does that mean that you're, like, in violation of IP theft? Does that mean that you shouldn't be allowed to do something like that? Right? Even if you're creating something new and original? Or for instance, if someone commissions an art from an artist, and, you know, like, they want a certain fighting pose, right, between Goku and Vegeta, right? They want some fan art done, and they're looking at a One Punch Man picture, and there's, like, a pose there, and he asks the artist, can you get my characters in this fighting pose? Is that not allowed? Like, is that unethical now? Because I don't, like, if that's unethical now, holy shit. I mean, you just pick, for fuck's sakes, I mean, we have these individuals from Naughty Dog, right? They're making a video game with zombies, The Last of Us. Oh, are you telling me that you didn't get inspiration from The Walking Dead or from Resident Evil or from anything else? Like, you just came up with the concept 100% by yourself, and no inspiration taken from any other genre? No? Ah, come on. You know, like let's stop this shit. But basically, as you can see, they are absolutely sitting, right? And it's like, I just have no proof. It's just dev intuition. Making a game is just so difficult. They're cheating somehow. I just can't pinpoint how. Making a game is difficult, sure, but it's not as difficult as they make it out to be. Like, if you look at AAA companies that spend like $400 million to make a game, most of that is bloat. Like, you can make a game without the HR lady, just so you know. You can make a game without the people that have the rainbow-colored hair. Like the game can be made. We have been doing this for decades, right? Just because now corporations are deciding to hire an army of people, 9 out of 10 are completely useless in the production. That doesn't mean that it has to be this difficult. I mean, for the love of God, I do talk with developers at AAA companies, and the horror stories that I get. It's like you can't write a line of code unless there's like 20 other people looking at it and criticizing you all the way. There's like 9 people supervising every single person that's coding. Like that is why it's actually harder to make the game than when you're just with a group of friends and they're pitching ideas and they're doing whatever they want. And as you can see here, the developers of Palworld actually had an interview on Japanese television. And look at this, right? Like, what is your creative vision? I don't have a creative vision. I just wanted to make a game that people like. Well, you didn't have to consult the ESG investors. You didn't have to get consultants to proofread your game. You didn't have to ask the game journalist whether or not your game is acceptable. Wow, that is very interesting. Look at this one. The decision to make it Pokemon with guns was because they were worried that games would not be a global success unless they added guns to do it, because Americans like to shoot things. Oh my god, but isn't that so problematic? Isn't that like hurting your S score from the ESG? Like it lowers your social score. Like in this culture, in this current environment, when you have so many atrocities being done, how can we allow them to promote guns? Oh. The gender-neutral Type A character creator was likewise because Americans sometimes want to make very ugly characters. You don't understand. Beauty is subjective. It is subjective. Like, just because you don't like a muscular woman with short hair and a square jawline and no breasts and the mental illness haircut, that doesn't mean that she's not very, very popular in the eyes of many, many other people, right? Also, I really hate the fact that Japanese people think that Americans like games with ugly characters. We don't. Okay, Larry Fink from BlackRock does, and he wants more of that shit. And of course, you have the development studios and the HR ladies, and unfortunately, they gatekeep for the rest of us. But no, like the overwhelming amount of people in the United States and abroad, we like pretty characters as well. But anyway. This was hilarious. I mean, the lake of salt just keeps growing. Just keeps growing. They are so upset because, again, you gotta understand why they are upset. They have created an echo chamber where they believe that games can only be done one way, and the way is to hire consultants to make sure that your game is sanitized. It is to listen to the game journalists because they know that they're in touch and in tune with the gaming community. And then, of course, you gotta do the whole bait and switch marketing tactic, right? And that is the correct way of making a video game. And you have these chuckleheads that go like, no, actually, right? And not only that, like, these individuals also convince themselves that, oh, well, it's just that the market is doing not so well right now. You know, people are more poor. They don't have money to buy video games. So this is why we're actually doing not so well. In reality, no, like, people do have the money. They just don't want to spend it on your shit. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.